Good morning. We're at East Bee Hill Road, and we're about to go into Fry Notch before Baldplate. And I don't know what the mileage is going to be today. It looks like the lean-to is like 8.4. Not sure that's enough. And the next place I want to stop, I'm not sure there's stealth sites, so I hope I pass some Nobos today and get some information from them. Pack is heavy. I've got 4 days of food to get to Gorham. You forget how light your pack feels after when you're down to like 1 or 2 days of food, and then you fill it back up and you're like, oh, it's so heavy. But the only thing I can do is eat it. It's the only thing that's gonna help. So trying to keep my energy up more in this section, and I'm just looking forward. I think it's going to be really beautiful. It looks like sunny, 80 the next 4 days, and hopefully that means good views and enjoyable hiking. So I think it's going to be a really, really tough section, but I'm kind of stoked for it. So let's do it. So we just came up this way. Show you the trail here. And that is where we're going. And that is definitely not the top. It's just a false summit. So I'm going to take a break up there, eat some food, get some water, take a break, and then we're going to conquer Baldplate. Hello. Alright, lunchtime. I was gonna eat earlier in the day. I usually like to have like one snack and then lunch early around like 11:30. It's now 1:30, but I sat down to eat lunch and I was by a lean-to, and there was a dead mouse being devoured by flies, and I totally lost my appetite. So hiked on, and I am right before the first of the 2 peaks of Baldplate, and just needed a break, and only about 2.5 miles left. I want to hike a little further, but I heard it's a really hard down, and I'm not sure I want to do that at the end of the day. So my plan was to stay at Baldplate tonight, which is a really short day, but I had planned, or am planning, very short days between here and Gorham, where I'm going to take a 0, and I think that is, I've just heard from a lot of the Nobos I've been passing about how it's so much harder than the whites, and it's the best part, and they go really slow and really enjoy it. So I am trying to heed that advice. So yeah, I want to enjoy what's left of Maine, and I want to I don't know, just trying to find my hiking style, I guess. I want to do the miles that all the guys are doing that are passing me, and I physically can't, especially with all this climbing. It's a lot of hands-on type of climbing because I'm shorter, and I can't just step up like everybody else that's passing me, and I need to give myself a little bit of a break on that. And then when I get to Vermont, that end of Vermont, hopefully it'll get a little flatter and I can pick up speed then. But I've been really stressing about not getting enough miles, not getting enough miles, not getting enough miles. But as the Nobos are going by, they're like, oh, I only did 6 miles this day because it was so tough. And so if they can't do big miles in certain sections, I need to stop expecting that for some reason I would be able to, because I definitely don't have my trail legs yet. This is the view going up to Baldplate Mountain, as promised. So I made it to Baldplate lean-to. I really had the energy. It was about 3 o'clock, so I was planning on going to the road where Grafton Notch is, but I heard that stealth camping was like not really. I heard there were spots, and then people were like, no, they're kind of sloped and they're really exposed to like the street there. I guess it's a pretty busy road, and just from a safety perspective, I don't want to camp on the side of a busy street. So that was out, and then tomorrow we'll get down there. It's just a couple miles, and then we'll start with Grafton Notch, which I've heard is quite an experience. And then I'm getting a lot of recommendations to stay at Speck Pond, but I really wanted to go to the campsite that's right before you start kind of southbound on Mahoosuc Notch, so I can do it on fresh legs. So it'll really just depend on how hard Grafton is. Baldplate Mountains were definitely really tough, but I definitely feel like better about things. Like, I have my food, you know, I got some decent sleep when I was in Andover, so I kind of feel like things are looking positive. And while I'm still incredibly sore and having a lot of knee pain from my IT bands and just general plantar fasciitis that I deal with every day, like, it's still like the best I felt after kind of doing a big climb. So hopefully I feel good in the morning as well. I'm going to try to get some sleep because it is close to 8 o'clock and therefore hiker midnight. Night, y'all. Good morning. So it's about 8, which is a lot later than I wanted to get started. Going from the Baldplate lean-to either Speck Pond or Bull Branch, which is the campsite that's just north of Mahoosuc, so I can start Mahoosuc tomorrow on fresh legs. So today I'm going to do Grafton Notch. I'm nervous. Heard it's really tough, but I'm feeling pretty good, even though I didn't get great sleep. There were people at camp last night, all NOBOs. I think all section hikers. Some were friendlier than others. Really nice couple where the woman had Pat. She had finished her thru-hike in 2014, and then she brings her husband back and they do all her favorite parts again, just so he gets like the highlight reel, which I thought was really funny. And they were lovely. And someone from Columbus, Ohio, so it was nice to have a little somebody from home to talk to. And he is moving out here, so after he finishes the Maine section, he's going to travel around Maine and find a place to settle. So I thought that was neat as well. Some other guys, I did not sleep well, so someone decided that it would be a brilliant idea to call your wife on speakerphone, then watch a movie on speaker, then call your wife back and have a fight with her on speaker, and then snore all night. So despite the fact that I had earplugs, that's the downside of, you know, I want to see more people and have some more human interactions, but you know, the camp camaraderie, but it comes with the downside of just We're in Grafton Notch State Park, and we are getting ready to go by the waterfalls in Grafton Notch and then up Old Speck. And from there over to Mahoosuc Arm and down to the campsite. So the climbing's been really steep, but it is just outstanding views. I'm loving this. It's such great weather today too. It's been breezy and gorgeous, and I just couldn't be more excited to be out today. Despite, you know, blisters and soreness, and just be able to like look past that and enjoy the moment for what it is. And we have lots more climbing to do. So we're going up Old Speck Trail here, and it is, as you can tell, up, panting heavily. But really nice, really beautiful. Lots of people to talk to, so stopped and talked to a lot of NOBOers and day hikers, and just everybody's thoughts about being outdoors in 2020, and you know, what's safe and what's not, and just interesting to hear people's perspectives. There we go. So it's a relatively flat section here. That looks like the easiest down. Short people problems. My knees are not loving the towns. Quick stop on my way up to Mahoosuc Arm, which will begin the downhill into camp, so we can do the notch first thing in the morning. Ran into some SoBos. They are gonna do the notch tonight, which I just don't think I want to do. I want to do fresh legs so we can really have some fun. Down Mahoosuc Arm, it's been exceptionally steep, which has been really rough on the knees, so I'm definitely glad I wasn't planning on doing the notch today. I think it's called Bull Branch. It's just like a kind of tent site right before the north end of Mahoosuc Notch. I came down the arm today. It is, you know, it wasn't as much bouldering as I thought, but it was really steep in that granite, and I slipped. I think I fell 3 times, and by the time I got down, my right leg here, I couldn't even bend my knee, and some of it is definitely IT band, but I'm getting worried that, you know, there might be something going on. So mentally, the day was full of ups and downs, the trail as well. But it was a little frustrating. And it was the first time I thought, like, maybe I can't do this, and I don't want to go home, and I don't want to quit, but I am in so much pain. Not being able to bend my leg. You know, I stretched out when I got to camp, and took some more Advil, and it feels a little better. And I had this before in the 100-mile wilderness, where it got this bad. And it felt much better the next day, but, you know, my blisters hurt so bad at that point, like, that's really what I was focused on. And right now, this is kind of my biggest physical obstacle in terms of doing miles. So, you know, today was beautiful, and I was passing people, and it was great to see day hikers, and I saw a ton of Nobos, and a group of SoBos caught up with me, and I was so excited. And they're doing more miles than I can do. They're doing 20 miles today, and I can't do 20 miles in this terrain, and I'm so frustrated that I thought, you know, tomorrow I will be entering New Hampshire, and I'm so happy that I'm almost done with Maine, and I feel like it's a huge accomplishment, but I feel so frustrated that it took me almost a month. It'll be a month, actually. Well, maybe 3 days shy. It wasn't supposed to take that long, and my mileage is not going up, and I am seeing some improvement. You know, the terrain is getting tougher, but my kind of miles per hour and miles I can do in a day is staying, but it's staying around 10, and I'm not going to finish the trail this year if that's where I'm at. I don't know what to do. And, you know, when they went on, it was great to have lunch with them and talk with them, and then they left and blew by me, and I have just not felt that alone on trail. I haven't minded hiking alone. I haven't minded camping alone. But I thought, like, by this time I'd kind of have, like, a tribe of people that I'd be hiking with at least intermittently, that I would see on a regular basis. And I thought when I went through Mahoosuc Notch, I would be doing it with a group of friends, and I'm going to be doing it very much alone. And it's just not the hike that I envisioned or that I wanted. So I have some thinking to do about, you know, whether I end up, I was never married to this being a through hike, and so I have some thinking to do about whether or not this is going to be a section or a lash, as it were. So, that is really depressing, and that is where we're at. But I don't want to quit, and I do want to be out here. But I need something to change, I guess. I need to physically feel better. I think if I physically feel better, I will be in a more positive place, and I think that kind of positivity will naturally attract people versus, like, when people say, "How are you?" and I'm like, "My knees hurt." That's probably not what they want to hear. Alright. Well, I am gonna eat my dinner. Tonight we're having Cincinnati chili over gluten-free ramen noodles. Homemade. It's absolutely delicious. Probably put some cheese on it too.